Liam wiped the sweat off his forehead as he stepped out of his old cargo ship. Dust swirled around his boots. The sun above was orange and heavy, casting a strange glow on the red ground. He looked around. The dust moon was quiet. But he knew. He was being watched. He had landed near the edge of the Jekkan camp, a group of warriors known across this part of space for their strict traditions. They did not welcome strangers easily. Liam had only come to deliver crates of medicine and energy cells, but now it felt like he had landed in the middle of something bigger. A group of tall, armored figures approached. Their armor was dark and rough, made from some kind of stone and metal. Their faces were hidden behind thick helmets. One stepped forward. She removed her helmet slowly. Her skin was silver blue, her eyes sharp and bright. She was tall, even taller than most Jekkans. Her hair was braided back, and scars marked her face like trophies. "I am Kara," she said, "warrior of the Jekkan blood flame." Liam nodded. "I'm just a cargo pilot. I came with your supplies." Kara did not blink. "You walk too, close to the sacred circle. That demands a test." Liam looked down and realized he had crossed a line drawn in white stones. He had no idea what it meant. It looked like a design in the dirt. Now it seemed to be a holy symbol. "I didn't mean to," Liam said. "I'll step back." Kara raised her hand. "Too late. The test has been called. Refuse, and you show fear." Liam took a deep breath. He was just a human in worn boots and a dusty jacket. He had no weapon, no armor. But something in Kara's voice made him pause. The crowd behind her was silent. All eyes were on him. He swallowed hard. "What kind of test?" "Hand to hand. 3 rounds. Show your spirit." Liam knew he had no chance, but he also knew that running away would only make things worse. So he nodded. "I'll do it." A ripple moved through the crowd. Kara stepped back and pointed to a wide circle of red stone. The warriors formed a ring. Liam was led to the middle and given a pair of light gloves. Kara stepped in across from him, already stretching her arms. She did not smile. She looked serious, focused. The first round began with a sound like a gong. Kara moved fast. She dodged to the side and swept Liam's leg. He fell hard on his back. Before he could stand, she had already touched his chest with her palm. That counted as a point. Liam stood coughing and brushed dust off his face. The second round began. This time he tried to stay light on his feet. He remembered a few moves from old Earth defense classes. He ducked under her first swing and almost landed a hit. But she turned quickly, caught his arm, and tossed him to the ground again, more dust in his mouth, more pain in his ribs. The third round began. Liam felt bruised but still standing. He raised his fists. Kara looked at him with respect in her eyes now. He charged, not to win, but to show he wouldn't give up. She blocked his strike, stepped forward, and pinned him without force. He couldn't move. The test was over. Liam lay on the stone floor, breathing hard. He had lost all 3 rounds. The crowd was silent again. He thought they would laugh or turn away. Kara stepped forward and raised her hand. This human fought with no armor, no weapon, and no fear. He accepted defeat with honor. She looked down at him. "I choose you as my spouse." Liam blinked. "What?" Gasps came from the crowd. The oldest warrior, a man with white stripes on his armor, stepped forward. "She speaks the bond right. According to the ancient law, the victor may choose a worthy challenger as mate." Liam sat up. "Wait, I didn't agree to that. I just thought it was a spar." Kara knelt in front of him. "I saw your courage. That matters more than victory. You stood alone against me. You did not break. I have the right to choose. I choose you." Liam felt the weight of her words. This was not a joke. The Jekkans were serious. In their eyes, he was now tied to this warrior, maybe not by human law, but by something deeper. He looked at the crowd. No one seemed angry. In fact, many looked pleased. Some nodded in approval. Kara stood and offered him her hand. "You can still refuse, but it may offend my people." Liam took a deep breath. His ribs hurt, his pride hurt, but there was something honest in Kara's eyes. Something he couldn't explain. He took her hand and stood. "I don't know what this means yet," he said, "but I'll try to understand." The Jekans clapped once in unison, a sign of acceptance. The sun sank lower behind the rocks. A human and a warrior stood together in the dust, the first step in a story that neither of them had expected. Liam followed Kara across the rocky ground, limping a little from the bruises. His chest still ached where he had hit the stone floor during the fight. The sun had dropped lower, casting long shadows across the dust moon. The Jekan camp glowed. In the orange light, quiet but watchful. He walked through rows of sharp-looking tents made of hide and metal. Warriors stood outside, sharpening blades or polishing armor. None of them laughed at Liam. They watched him with quiet respect. He had entered their arena, faced one of their strongest, and walked away with his head held high. Kara led him to a tall structure built into the side of a stone hill. It looked like a tower, but it had no windows. The entrance was wide and lit by glowing crystals. 2 guards stood outside. They nodded as Kara passed. Liam followed her in. Inside, the walls were carved smooth. Symbols glowed on the surface. Ancient. Marks that told stories of battles and victories. Kara turned and looked at him. "This is the Hall of Oaths," she said. "If we are to follow the bond right, you must understand our ways." Liam nodded. "I'll listen." She pointed to a raised platform in the center of the hall. "That is the arena of choice, not for battle, but for decision. Here, warriors, speak truth. If you want to break the bond, you must say it here, before witnesses." Liam looked at the platform. It wasn't very big, just a circle of stone with 4 steps. But it felt heavy, like it carried the weight of centuries. "I'm not saying no," Liam said. "I just don't understand why you chose me." Kara tilted her head. "Because you are not like the others. Many come here to trade. They act brave, but they avoid our customs. You walked straight into the circle. You looked me in the eyes. You fought without fear." Liam smiled a little. "I was terrified." She nodded. "But you did not run. That is rare." Liam sat down on a bench near the wall. He looked at his gloves, still dusty from the arena. "Where I come from, people. Don't get married after a duel." Kara sat across from him. "Here, we do not bind with words alone. We watch the spirit. A bond formed through trial is stronger than one formed through comfort." He thought about that. It was different, strange, but maybe not wrong. One of the guards stepped inside. "The council calls for the ritual meal." Kara stood. "You are to sit beside me, Liam of Earth. That is our custom now." He followed her to a large chamber with long stone tables. Warriors sat on either side, passing dishes of roasted root, grilled meat from local beasts, and steamed leaves that smelled like pepper. A space was open beside Kara. Liam sat down. The room grew quiet. The oldest warrior in the room raised a horn-shaped cup. "The bond has been chosen. Let the fire in the blood guide the future." Everyone drank. Liam took a sip. The liquid inside was strong and bitter, but it warmed his throat. A plate was placed in front of him, and Kara nodded for him to eat. As they ate, a young warrior leaned across the table. "You were fast for a soft skin. Not many last 3 rounds with Kara." Liam smiled. "I think she went easy on me." Kara looked at him. "No, I gave all I had." The room burst into laughter. It was not mocking. It was surprised and respectful. After the meal, Kara stood and faced the crowd. "I ask for silence." The hall grew still. "I claim this bond with full honor. Liam of Earth did not break, did not lie, and did not hide. He stood before fire with open hands. "I ask the tribe to witness." A chant rose from the warriors. They clapped once in rhythm, then again. It echoed off the walls like thunder. Kara turned to Liam. "Now you speak." Liam stood slowly. His legs were tired, and his back still ached, but he faced them all. "I didn't expect any of this. I'm not a warrior. I came to bring supplies, but I respect your strength, and I see your honor. I will not break the bond, not today." Another clap filled the room. Even the old warrior who had spoken earlier nodded. That night, Kara led Liam to her quarters. The walls were made of dark stone, and simple mats covered the floor. There was a small fire pit in the center. She handed him a folded cloth. "You sleep here," she said. "Our law allows space until both choose closeness. No force." Liam nodded. "Thank you. That's fair." She sat across from him, sharpening a small blade. Her eyes watched the flame. "You may still leave. At sunrise, you can fly back to your world. But if you stay, you must learn. Not just our customs, but our purpose." Liam looked around the room. The fire danced in Kara's eyes. He had come here for a simple job, but now he stood in a world built on strength, truth, and ancient law. He didn't know where this path would lead, but for the first time in a long while, he felt like something important had begun. He laid down, on the mat, listening to the quiet sound of Kara's blade. The dust moon was silent outside. The stars looked close. Sleep took him slowly. Tomorrow would bring more than he ever expected. Liam woke early. A soft red light filled Kara's quarters. The fire pit was cold now. Kara was already awake, standing near the open wall, watching the horizon. She wore a different kind of armor today, lighter and made of dark cloth. A short blade hung at her side. Liam sat up on his mat. His back still felt stiff, but the rest had helped. He stretched his arms and stood slowly. Kara turned. "You slept well?" He nodded. "Better than I expected. It's quiet here." She walked over and handed him a folded tunic. It was plain but stitched carefully. "Wear this today. If you walk among my people, you must dress as one of us." Liam changed quickly. The fabric was rough but strong. It fit better than his flight jacket. He looked in the polished metal plate on the wall. He almost didn't recognize himself. Kara motioned for him to follow. Together they walked out into the morning light. The dust moon sky was painted in soft orange and purple. Smoke rose from cooking fires, and warriors trained near the edge of the cliffs. Sparks flew as blades struck against each other. As they walked, people nodded at Kara and then at Liam. Some even greeted him in short phrases. He returned the gestures, still unsure how to act. They reached the council circle, a round space surrounded by stones. 7 elders stood waiting, each wearing a different color. In the center was the old warrior from before. His name, Liam had learned, was Voran. He was the oldest voice of the Jekan tribe. Voran stepped forward. "Today we speak of the bond. Many have seen the duel. Many have heard the words spoken. But there is more." Kara bowed her head. "We are ready to hear." Liam stood quietly. He didn't know what was coming, but he stayed still. Voran raised a carved staff. "Long ago, our people learned that strength without purpose is hollow, so the bond of warrior and mate was built not on blood alone, but on balance. 2 must walk together, not one behind the other." Another elder, a woman with silver hair, added, "You must both understand what the bond means. It is not ownership. It is not rule. It is partnership. That is the Jekan way." Kara turned to Liam. "I offer you truth now, not just custom. You have the right to ask, to challenge, to understand. Liam looked at her. Why me? There are others stronger than me. Faster, too, Kara answered clearly. Because you are different. You came here with no power, no army, and yet you stood before our ways without fear. Many humans speak of peace, but hide behind weapons. You did not. You showed fire in defeat. Voron nodded. Many times we have fought with humans. Many times we have doubted them. But perhaps this bond is a step toward trust. Liam took a deep breath. I won't pretend I understand everything, but I know this. I want to learn. I want to walk forward, not run back to my ship. The elders looked at one another. Then Voron struck the ground with his staff. The bond stands. The first path is open. Now the learning begins. After the meeting, Kara led Liam to a high ledge overlooking the valley. From there, he could see the full camp, the training fields, and even his small ship in the distance. The view was wide and quiet. This is where my father brought me after my first challenge, Kara said. He told me that strength is not in the blade, but in the choice to lift it or not. Liam looked at her. You've carried that lesson. Well, Kara looked out toward the cliffs. I was trained to fight since I could walk, but even then, I knew the old ways were more than war. They were about standing for something. That is why I chose you. Not to make you Jekan, but to walk beside me, as you are. Liam thought about her words. He had come to deliver crates. Now he stood on a ledge, speaking of partnership with a warrior from another world. And yet, it didn't feel wrong. Back on Earth, he said, people rush into things. Marriages, friendships, even war. But here, you take time. You test. You choose carefully. Kara turned to him. Will you walk with me, Liam? Not just now, but in the days ahead? He met her eyes. Yes, I will. That evening, a small gathering was held in the lower part of the camp. No loud music, no bright lights, just a fire, a circle of food, and stories. Kara introduced Liam to her sister, Reyna, a young scout with quick hands and a sharp mind. Reyna offered Liam a carved token of welcome. You've made things interesting, she said with a grin. I seem to do that a lot, Liam replied. As the night grew darker, Kara shared stories of past duels and great hunts. Liam told tales from Earth. Strange foods, flying cars, cities that never slept. The warriors listened with curious eyes. One young fighter asked, Do your people train like us? Liam shook his head. Some do. Most use machines now. They forgot what it means to fight with hands and heart. Kara looked at him. Then maybe your path is to remember. Later, as the fire burned low, Liam sat beside Kara in silence. The stars above were thick, brighter than anything he had seen from Earth. He could see twin moons rising in the distance. Kara broke the silence. There is still time to leave, if doubt lives in your heart. Liam didn't answer right away. He watched the stars a little longer. Then he turned to her. I stayed because I wanted to understand. Now I stay because I care. I don't know what comes next, but I'm not walking away. Kara gave a small nod. Not a smile, not a cheer. Just a calm, quiet nod. It meant everything. In the heart of a warrior tribe, among fires and stars, a human. And a Jekan warrior began to build something rare. Not just a bond of tradition, but one of trust. Liam woke to the sound of drums in the distance. The sky outside Kara's quarters was still dark, but the camp was already alive. Warriors moved quickly, preparing for something. He stood and put on his Jekan tunic. When he stepped outside, Kara was waiting. She handed him a short staff. You begin your first trial of knowledge today. Liam raised an eyebrow. Another test? Kara nodded. Not with blades, with learning. You will be trained in the ways of our people, and I will be trained in the ways of yours." Liam looked surprised. "You want to learn from me?" Kara looked at him seriously. "The bond must go both ways. If you walk among my people, then I must also walk toward your world." They walked together toward the training field. Warriors gathered around a large stone platform. On it stood Voran, the elder, with a younger Jekhan scribe holding a set of carved tablets. "The trial of ways begins," Voran said. "Each bonded pair must share knowledge. One speaks, one listens, one teaches, one learns." Liam stood beside Kara as the others moved to their spots. Voran looked at him. "Liam of Earth, teach your partner one truth of your people." Liam paused. He looked at Kara. Then he stepped forward. "Where I come from, we believe in second chances. If someone fails, we try again. We don't always cast them out. We let them grow." Some warriors in the crowd looked confused. Others whispered to each other. Kara watched him closely. "Can you explain more?" she asked. Liam nodded. "If someone makes a mistake, they can still become better. On Earth, we have people who came from nothing, who made wrong choices but later helped others. We believe that change is possible." Voran raised his staff. "A strange path, not ours, but heard. Let this teaching be written." The scribe carved Liam's words onto a fresh tablet. Kara stepped forward now. "My turn to teach. Jekhan's strength is not measured by how loud we speak, but how still we stand. In battle, silence is power. In peace, silence is wisdom." Liam listened carefully. He thought of how loud Earth cities were, how fast people talked. But in this camp, silence was respected. He nodded. "I understand." The teaching session ended as the sun rose fully. Warriors clapped once in approval. The bond between Kara and Liam had passed the first trial. Later, they walked through the camp together. Children ran past, chasing small, light drones. Older warriors trained in pairs. A group of builders shaped stone with soft humming tools. Kara pointed to a group of younglings. "They are tested at age 8. Each must show balance, mind, and strength." Liam smiled. "On Earth, we test children with books and numbers, but many forget to teach honor or patience." Kara seemed thoughtful. "Perhaps both are needed." They reached the edge of the camp where Liam's ship was parked. It looked small now, like a relic from a different world. Kara motioned toward it. "Show me your way now." Liam unlocked the hatch and walked her inside. The air was cooler. The control panels glowed softly. He showed her the pilot seat, the maps, and the storage bays. Kara touched everything with care. "This vessel is weak in armor," she said. Liam laughed. "It wasn't built for war, just travel and trade." Kara studied the star maps. "You've seen many places." "I have," Liam said. "But I've never stayed anywhere for long." Kara looked at him. "Then perhaps this is your first anchor." Liam felt a strange warmth in his chest. He showed her his tablet filled with old photos, his mother's garden, a river on Mars, a skyport above Neptune. Kara stared at the images with quiet interest. "This world," she said, pointing to the garden, "is green, alive. Yes, that's Earth, my home." Kara's voice was soft. "Will you take me there someday?" Liam nodded. "If you want to go, I'll take you." They sat together in the ship, speaking of their pasts. Kara told him how she lost her brother in a border war. Liam shared how he once crashed during a solar storm and barely survived. Their stories were different, but the feelings were the same. In the days that followed, Liam trained in Jekhan tactics. He learned to move quietly, to read body language, to listen more than speak. Kara learned to use Earth tech. She flew his ship in circles above the cliffs, laughing for the first time since their meeting. Rena, Kara's sister, joined them often. She taught Liam how to track beasts. He showed her how to hack a simple lock using human tools. They became like a small team. Different, but close. One evening, as the stars appeared, Kara and Liam sat by the fire again. The flames crackled softly. "You are not the same man I met on the first day," Kara said. Liam looked into the fire. "And you're not just a warrior anymore. You're something more." Kara turned to him. "You've brought change to this place. Some fear it. Others welcome it." Liam understood. Change is always hard, but sometimes it's needed. They sat in silence for a while. Then Kara reached into her belt and pulled out a small ring made of black stone. "This is a symbol of choice," she said. "It is not law. It is not command. It is simply mine. I offer it to you not as duty, but as will." Liam looked at the ring. It was simple, carved by hand. He took it slowly. "I'll wear it, not because I must, but because I choose to." Their hands touched briefly. No one around them clapped or cheered. No words were spoken. But in that moment, something deep passed between them. Not tradition, not battle, only trust. The dust-moon sky turned dark one afternoon. Thick clouds gathered too quickly. Liam stood outside Kara's quarters and stared upward. There was no thunder, no wind, only still air. He had seen weather like this before, but not from nature. Kara joined him with her helmet under one arm. "That's not a storm," she said. Liam nodded. "It's a ship, and not one of yours." A loud hum echoed across the sky. Warriors gathered at the edge of the cliffs. Kara climbed up the high watch platform. Liam followed close behind. From there, they could see the horizon clearly. A dark gray ship broke through the clouds. It was large, shaped like a hammerhead, with sharp wings on either side. Its engines were silent now, but its shadow was long. Liam recognized the design. He had seen ships like this back in trade ports. It belonged to the rogue mining guild called Verak Corps. "They shouldn't be here," Liam said. "This moon is marked as protected land." Kara narrowed her eyes. "Verak Corps doesn't care about laws, only resources." More warriors gathered. Below. Varan walked out with a long spear in hand. His face was calm, but his steps were heavy. Kara jumped down from the platform and moved beside him. "They come for our land," she said. Varan nodded. "Then we remind them who holds it." Liam stepped forward. "They have stronger weapons. You need more than blades." Kara turned to him. "Then show us the human way." Minutes later, the rogue ship landed far beyond the cliffs. Dust rose around its metal frame. A group of strangers stepped out. They wore armored suits and carried heavy blasters. Their leader, a tall man with a cold voice, stepped forward. "This moon has no flag," he said. "So we claim it." Kara stood tall in front of her warriors. "This land holds our fire, our blood. We do not sell it." The man laughed. "Then fight us and lose, or step aside." Liam moved beside Kara. "You won't win here," he told the stranger. "You're outnumbered." The man glanced at Liam. "And you are what? Her translator?" "I'm her partner," Liam said. "And I know how you think. You didn't come for a fair deal. You came to take." The man raised his weapon. "Then we take." Before he could shoot, Kara shouted, "Defensive circle!" Jakan warriors formed a ring with shields locked. Liam ducked behind Kara and pulled out a small device from his pocket. It was a signal jammer he kept for emergencies. He pressed it hard. A wave of interference burst from the device, cutting off the invaders' comms and slowing their weapons. Blaster fire sparked in the air but missed its mark. Kara and her warriors rushed forward like a wave of fire. Liam stayed close to Rena, who had a short bow and sharp aim. She picked off 2 attackers, while Liam used a stolen blaster to cover the side. He had never fired one in battle before, but his aim was steady. Kara fought in the center. Her blade danced like a streak of lightning. She moved through the enemy line without hesitation. One attacker tried to flank her, but Liam shouted a warning. She turned and blocked just in time, knocking the attacker down with one strike. "Good eyes," she called back. The fight spread across the valley. Smoke rose from both sides. Liam guided a small group of warriors to protect the supply tent. He used old Earth tactics, short moves, cover first, hold formation. The Jekans followed well, but the invaders were not done. A second wave came from the ship, heavily armored, faster, and smarter. They had scanning visors and spread out in a triangle formation. Liam's heart pounded. He looked at the sky and saw a signal beacon rising from the Varric ship. It was calling for backup. "If they send more," he said, "we won't hold." Kara ran to his side. Her armor was scratched, and her arm was bleeding, but her eyes were clear. "Then we strike now," she said. Liam nodded. "I'll take a team. I can reach their ship and shut down the beacon." Kara stared at him. "It's risky." "I've done worse," he said. "Just give me cover." Rena and 2 others joined him. They moved across the field using smoke as cover. Liam led them behind the rocky path, then toward the enemy ship. His jammer still worked, but barely. They reached the edge of the platform where the beacon tower stood. Liam climbed up fast. Blaster fire hit the rocks around him, but he kept going. At the top, he reached the control panel. He ripped off the outer plate and rewired the signal. The beacon flashed once, then turned dark. Below, Kara let out a battle cry. The Jekans rushed forward, gaining ground. The invaders, now cut off from support and communication, started to fall back. The tide was turning. Liam jumped down and rolled. Behind cover, one of the attackers fired at him. Rena shot first. The man fell. By the time the sun began to set, the battle was over. The rogue ship was disabled. The remaining attackers surrendered. Kara stood at the center of the field, her blade raised high. The warriors gathered around her. Liam walked toward her, his hands scratched, his face covered in dirt. "You did it," Kara said. "We did it," Liam answered. Vorin stepped forward. "You led our warriors. You defended our land. You fought not as a guest, but as one of us." Liam looked at the faces around him. Tired, bruised, but proud. Kara placed her hand on his shoulder. "Today, you proved more than courage. You proved unity." Liam looked at her. "And I'm not going anywhere." As the firelight rose across the camp and smoke drifted into the sky, the dust moon remained standing, not because of one warrior, but because of many, human and Jekan, side by side. The morning sun stretched its light slowly across the dusty valley. Liam woke feeling the weight of the day ahead. His body ached from the fight the day before, but his mind was clear. Today, the real challenge was not only to defend the dust, moon, but to prove that he belonged. Kara was already outside, standing near the edge of the cliff. Her armor gleamed softly in the sunlight. She turned as Liam approached, her eyes steady. "We will begin the patrol soon," she said. "The enemy may try to return." Liam nodded. "We must be ready." The warriors gathered quickly, forming groups. Liam joined Kara and Rena. The 3 moved toward the rocky ridges that marked the border of their territory. The air was cool and quiet, but tension hummed beneath the calm. Kara led the way. "Watch for signs, tracks, broken branches, anything out of place." Liam scanned the ground carefully. The Jekan taught him how to notice small details, the crushed grass, the faint footprints, the smell of smoke in the air. After hours of walking, they found fresh tracks. "They were here recently," Kara said. Suddenly, a shadow flickered above them. Liam looked up. A small scout drone flew low, silent and fast. It was alien in shape, but clearly advanced. Kara raised her blade and threw it toward the drone. The blade sliced through the air, hitting the machine. It crashed to the ground, sparks flying. "They are watching us," Liam said. Kara nodded. "We must move faster." They followed the trail to a narrow pass between two cliffs. The wind howled softly, carrying the scent of metal and smoke. Ahead, Liam saw figures moving. The Varric core miners had returned. This time they came with more weapons and armored suits. The threat was greater. Kara signaled to the warriors to prepare. Liam checked his blaster and tightened his grip on the signal jammer. The battle began. With a sudden roar, the invaders fired from a distance, their blasters cutting the air. The Jekon raised their shields and moved forward, slow and steady. Liam moved beside Kara, covering her flank. He saw her blade flash as she deflected a shot, then struck back. The warriors fought like a storm, fast, fierce, and united, but the miners pushed hard. Liam felt a sharp pain in his side. He stumbled, but kept going. Rena shouted, "Fall back!" Kara shook her head. "No retreat!" Liam gritted his teeth and joined the line again. The ground shook beneath their feet as explosions erupted nearby. Suddenly, Kara was struck by a heavy blow. She fell to one knee, clutching her arm. Liam rushed to her side. "I'm fine," she said through gritted teeth. "Keep fighting." He helped her stand, supporting her weight. Together they moved back into the fight. Liam saw an opening. A group of miners tried to flank them from behind. He raised his blaster and fired. His shots found their marks. The miners hesitated, then retreated. Kara nodded at him. "Good work." As the battle raged, Liam spotted a control panel on the enemy's heavy weapon platform. If he could disable it, the miners would lose their advantage. He told Kara his plan. "Cover me!" She gave a small nod and moved to block the enemies. "Attention!" Liam sprinted toward the platform, dodging blaster fire. He reached the control panel and tore open the casing. Sparks flew as he worked quickly, cutting wires and pressing buttons. The heavy weapons powered down. The miners faltered, confusion spreading. The Jekon warriors seized the moment. With a loud cry, they surged forward. The miners, now without their heavy firepower, began to fall back. The battle ended as the sun set. The invaders fled in their ship, damaged but alive. Kara leaned on Liam as they watched the sky darken. "You fought like a true warrior today." Liam smiled despite the pain. "I fought because I had to stand with you." Varan approached, his face calm but proud. "You have earned your place here, Liam. Not by strength alone, but by heart." Kara looked at Liam. "This bond is no longer just custom. It is choice." Liam took her hand gently. "And I choose to stay." The stars began to shine above them, bright and steady. Two suns set behind the cliffs, lighting the dust moon, with soft, golden light. In that moment, a human and a Jekon warrior stood side by side, not just bound by tradition, but united by trust and respect. The dawn light spilled softly over the dust moon. Liam stood on the edge of the camp, watching the twin suns rise slowly. The air was calm, but his heart raced with new feelings. Today was the day. The day he would decide his future, not as a visitor, but as a part of this world. Kara approached quietly. Her steps were sure but gentle. She held a small carved box in her hands. "Are you ready?" she asked. Liam looked at her and nodded. "I am." Together they walked toward the council circle, where the elders and warriors had gathered. The camp was alive with whispers. Some smiled at Liam, others watched carefully. Voran stepped forward to speak. "Liam of Earth has lived with us through trials and battle. He has shown courage, honor, and respect for our ways. Now he stands before the tribe to make his choice." Kara opened the box and revealed a simple stone band carved with ancient Jekon symbols. "This band is a symbol of our bond," Kara said. "It means more than law. It means trust, partnership, and heart. Liam took the band slowly. He looked at the faces around him, the warriors, the elders, and the people who had become his family. He thought of the first day when fear had made his hands shake. He thought of the battles fought and the lessons learned. He thought of Kara, strong and proud, who had chosen him in a world so different from his own. With a steady breath, Liam slid the band onto his finger. "I accept this bond," he said clearly. "Not because I must, but because I choose to. I choose to stand beside Kara, to protect this land, and to honor your people." A cheer rose from the crowd. Warriors clapped, and the elders nodded with approval. Kara stepped forward and took Liam's hand. "Together, we will face the future," Liam smiled. "Together." Later, as the suns climbed higher, Kara and Liam walked to the top of the cliff. The view was wide and free. The dust moon stretched out before them like a promise. Kara looked at Liam. "You are not like the others who come and go? You stayed when it was hardest." Liam looked back. "I stayed because this place, these people, feel like home now." Kara's eyes softened. "Then you are truly one of us." The days that followed were filled with new challenges. Liam learned to fight with Jekan weapons, to move silently through the rocks, and to speak the language more clearly. Kara learned more about Earth through Liam's stories and devices. They shared dreams of peace, growth, and understanding between their worlds. One evening, under the stars, Liam and Kara sat by the fire. Liam held a small seed pod from Earth. "This can grow anywhere," he said. "Even here, if you help it." Kara smiled. "Then we will plant it together. Like our bond." Liam nodded. A new beginning. The dust moon was no longer just a place of dust and danger. It had become a home for a human and a warrior who chose each other in a universe full of unknowns. Their story was not just about battles or customs. It was about two hearts finding strength in trust and love. And so, under twin suns and endless stars, Liam and Kara stood side by side, warrior and spouse, ready to face whatever the future held.